Okay, hello guys, this is Larion and this is my last Borreload Master Duel video. And in this video I will feature you how to become a platinum level duelist. As you can see, we have a new ranked by the new month, and in the previous month I reached platinum, and I dueled against very fierceful opponents, against top tier decks, and my Rokket deck was able to beat even the top tier decks sometimes, and teach you how to use my a bit upgraded Borreload deck. So this is my most recent Borreload deck. I have made some minor changes, only minor changes. So as you can see, I added a Noctovision Dragon, and this was a tip from my good friend Malek Shonka, and I added a Chaos Ruler. This isn't that important, but maybe it's better than I had in here before. And I added a Flash Charge Dragon, just because I often find myself in a situation where I have 3 link markers on the field, but I can't summon any link 3 monster. And I am not proud of it, but eventually I added 2 Infinite Impermanence to my deck. But as you know me, I don't like hand traps or meta trap cards, but these 2 trap cards is fitting this deck, because I am a player who likes to play with style, but I still would love to have a fun and enjoyable deck, not just Ash Blossom everything and Maxi everything. But I think this is the 2 trap card you can afford yourself to be in your deck. Yes, I will give a deck list into the description, so don't worry if you don't realize these cards. And let's jump right into my replays. And sometimes you don't even need your Link Dragons at all. You know, these are the major moves we do. And you can see Noctovision Dragon, because once you special summon, and the special summon can be a link summon or a whatever summon too, special summon a dragon monster, you can special summon Noctovision Dragon. So it's very similar to Absorouter Dragon, but I think it's a bit better. But you need to have Absorouter 2 in your deck, and it's a easy to get card. And if you stay with me in the video, I will show you a very enjoyable way to master Rokket decks, Gouki decks, Salamangreat decks, Blue Eyes decks. So please stay with me, or click on other parts of the video where I will talk about it. So please stay connected, because I have a very fun and interesting way to show you not just Borreload decks, but a lot of another fun and top tier decks. Yes? So as you can see, with Borreload Savage Dragon we can already negate his Raigeki. So summon Borreload Savage Dragon as much as you can, and with Fiendish Chain is very important. Kocha just sent me a message, and he is Tamás from Impossible Studio, who is making those very famous Blue Eyes tutorial videos. I will introduce him to you too. And as you can see, it's very important in this league to have these negate effects, because your opponent will use always these effects what will wipe out your field. And so having Borreload Savage Dragon with his negate counter and with Fiendish Chain, I think this is a very good way to make your opponent unable to destroy your field. And this is how easy it was in Platinum rank. I didn't even have Borreload Dragon, and with a Synchro Dragon and my Fusion Dragon, I defeated him in 3 turns. And just as I said, Tamás just sent me a message, and he is this guy. He's a good friend of mine, and he made a lot of Blue Eyes and Drytron deck profiles. So if you want really top tier decks with Platinum rank edge and you have a lot of gems, I really advise you to check out his channel too. This opponent was a Platinum 3 opponent, and I think this one is a very interesting duel. he used the Dark Lord deck. And to be honest, I don't really know how this Dark Lord deck works. Because mostly with your Rokket deck, it's good to know your opponent deck's mechanic, but it's more important to know your own deck. And you will see soon why. For example, I didn't know what these cards can do. Of course you can, and you have to read their effects, but you can't always keep in mind everything. So it's more important to know your deck, and you will see it can be enough. This is Moxie, very hateful card. I hope it will be banned in the near future. And as you can see, I was only able to special summon Rokket Tracer and use it in my own advantage. He gained a lot of life points too. And I didn't even summon my Borrel deck in the first turn, but I exist summon, so it's very important to use these other cards in the extra deck. And yes, I used the Monster Reborn to get one of his strong monster from the graveyard. He started to build his field again. As you can see, he have more life points than in the beginning of the duel. Yeah, that's it. Build your field. And yes, he have... Wait a minute. With Cowboy the Grave, he just negated and banished my Rokket Tracer, which is a very important Rokket card. Destroyed my Dark Rebellion Axis Dragon. And my field was completely wiped out by this point. I set my Dragon's Mirror just because I was aware that he may be able to destroy my back throw. And with Dragon's Mirror, I wanted to use it as a decoy to protect my mirror forces. Hour of Darkness, yes. And it will be funny because he will build a very strong field with a lot of time. I can imagine his face in a moment. Okay. As you can see, we have no monsters, not in the hand, not in the graveyard, that could help me out. And he is about to build his army of Dark Lords. And he's a very strong player. He was Platinum 3 by the time I did this duel. So it's like no way I could have defeated them with the power of my dragons. Look at, and goodbye. By drawing a mirror force, all of his deck went back to the deck and to the extra deck. So that's it for him. I can imagine how angry he was by this time. But he was still able to negate my tactics. So we were in a really difficult situation. And he still had the skills to summon a bunch of monsters. But I still had one other mirror force. But he was able to negate its effect, so I didn't really had any use of it. And he was started to gain life points. So I draw a single Rokket card, and just by it I was able to summon Striker Dragon, which will fetch me a Boot Sector Launch. He brought back his trap card. And now I finally had enough monsters in the graveyard to summon 5-headed Borreload Furious Dragon. And now you will see the power of Furious Dragon. I hope you noted, and I tell you by not the first time, but I haven't summoned any Borreload deck. Borreload Dragon, sorry. Just Borreload Furious Dragon. No Link Dragons. That must say won't help you, my friend, by now. And even Borreload can destroy one card on your field and one card on your opponent field. And that's it. A Platinum 3 player, guys. A Platinum 3 player. And we didn't even need the Link Borrel Dragons. So this deck, this is why I love this deck so much. Because even when you can't summon your ace monsters, you are able to win. And the last deck, and the last tutorial video I show you, it was a very long, very hard duel, and I think it was my one of my toughest duel in my life. If not in my life, but in Master Duel for sure. It was a 3 Brigade and a very negate and hand trap based deck. Appaloosa is a very is a bitch because it can reduce his attack points and negate your monster effects, and multiple times in a turn. So if you want a very good negate card, you can use Appaloosa in your deck, but I don't think it's fitting to the artwork and style of my Rokket Dragon deck. I am sure you have made 3 Brigade Shuraig, sorry. It's a very fierce opponent. So let me show you the power of Borrel Dragon. Not now. But with Borrel Dragon you can destroy one of his Link monster and bring back as many Rokket cards, as many Link Arrow my opponent had. And this is it, Fiendish Chain, always works. A very cheap card and very useful. But it didn't prevent him to build his field and negate my Absorouter Dragon, leaving me with nothing. And it was some very painful attacks. Infinite Impermanence, not for me but for opponents. That's it for Rokket Synchron. But still, we are able to summon Striker Dragon. And once you got Striker Dragon and the Boot Sector Launch, you are good to go. Because with Boot Sector Launch, as I have told you multiple times, you can bring back dragons from your graveyard. And I think this is the time when I will show you the power of Borrel Dragon. And let me show you what just happened. I exploded, I destroyed a Link 4 monster, and its effect to bring back as many Rokket Dragons, as many Link Arrows the card had, it destroyed. Obviously we didn't have 4 Rokket cards in our graveyard, but we didn't even need as much, because we were able to summon Borrel Sword Dragon. Very good card if you want to smash your opponent's life points. And just in case, Borreload Savage Dragon is always good to have a negate effect. So this is a deadly combo. We will see soon. Bam. 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 And this is it. A minute earlier we had nothing but a single Rokket card and nothing else. And we have this magnificent field. So much about Lightning Storm. Oh no, Zodiacs. What is this? Yeah. Zeus. This is a very common card. A lot of people and yes, that's it. That was my field. he had 500 life points and he wiped out my field. And just a minute ago I had Borrel Sword and Borreload Savage Dragon in the field, but nothing else. So this is where the part gets interesting, and this is why I tell you, you can always turn the tides with Rokket cards. Yes, Max C. And he activated Zeus's effect in the second time, and he wiped out my field, and I have nothing in my hand. And this duel had some luck, because if he was able to summon another monsters, I will be as good as gone now. And I didn't even need Boot Sector Launch, because there is this very handy and very dear card, the Hibernation Dragon. Once Hibernation Dragon is on the graveyard, you can banish it and bring back any Dark Dragon Link monsters, any. So when you have Hibernation Dragon, try to put it into the graveyard as soon as possible, and it will give you a good service. You see? And this is how I won. All I needed, Hibernation Dragon is in the graveyard. And as you can see, he destroyed my whole field at least 2 times. So thank you very much for following me. And just as I promised, let me show you how can you learn a lot of. In the past I had a Yu-Gi-Oh! Real Life series. This is a live action Yu-Gi-Oh! Series made by me. And in this series I use Rokket cards. This is my main deck, this is me, and this is Tamás, the guy I just showed you. He's the guy with the Blue Eyes deck. And if you follow this series, you can learn the basics and some tricks with Rokket deck. But not only with this, you can learn hero decks. You can learn Cyberse decks, and there are some others too: Goukis, Salamangreats, and a lot of fun decks. And finally, I want to thank you your attention. I reached 10,000 views in a week, and this only happened to me once before, when I made this movie, The Linked Fates. That was my most successful video in a short time, and this is my second one. So again, thank you very much, my friends, to following me this journey. I think this was my final video, because there is nothing more I can show you, and this isn't a gameplay channel at all. But just as I said, if you if you watch my real life series and you watch these videos and you like Rokket decks, you will be a tier player. I don't tell you, I won't lie you, this won't make you King of Games or Platinum 1, probably, but you will be good in Platinum. You will be able to be Platinum 4 or Platinum 3, and maybe you can improve my deck to an ever higher level. But for the basics, this was my teachings, and thank you very much for following me. Have a great time, and goodbye, duelists.